Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Funday. I have Juliana as my co-host today. Thank you, Juliana, for coming on last minute. We have a great show coming today.
Absolutely.
We have a great show coming today. We have Enoch Graham is going to come in 7. He came in last second, guys, and we couldn't have a better guest today to come on last second. So for those that expected Carol to come on, well, she had a last second thing she had to attend. And, we all have issues in our life that we just have to go, YouTube's last for most of us. It should be family first anyway. We have people that go and do a YouTube thing and they forget about their family. And, well, family's not always number one. So, Juliana, thank you so much for coming on last second too. This is a last second show, so that means it's going to be a good one. Let's see who's in the
Gee, you
chat.
needed someone to help you talk. Imagine that.
Oh, I can't pronounce anything. So it's one of those things. Welcome in Lisa Ellison, Purple Tea Bear, Peace, Love, and Crochet with Deidre, Built on a Rock Homestead, Jane Doe, Helen Ford, Rebel Canners. Welcome in Tammy, Janice Erfler, Edie's Garden Adventures, Lisa Ward. And people are starting to come on in. We got a great show today. Hey guys, just let you guys know, we have a hot dog eating contest. Why do something like hot dogs? Why do hot dogs? Why? It's the Super Bowl. It's a Thursday for the Super Bowl. And we're going to have right now there's only one person that registered. So hopefully other people register. You can have your husband or your kid on. It's eating 8 hot dogs, 8 soubrette hot dogs, how fast you could do it. We're not doing any more than 8. If you eat 3, it's great. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all for fun, all for showcasing your channel. And it's going to be, the hot dog contest is going to be lots of fun. On Thursday, we're going to have 2 interviews next week. Tuesday is little TBA, and Thursday is Jeff Zawicki, and it's how to make money on a farm, which is really, really cool. Okay, so I want to show you their 6 inches of soil film. When people are starting to roll in, we got Connie Davidson, Kaylin Strain. Kaylin, happy birthday. Her birthday, I think, was the 11th. So happy birthday to Kaylin. Let me see. Ribba Gopher's here. Angela Wright. Me and my shadow. Thank you guys for all coming in. Thank you, Jane, for being a mod for the channel. Okay, here's our 6 inches of soil. I just think this is very important to play it each live. I think it's awesome to listen to.
6 inches of soil feeds 8 billion people.
We already grow enough of all the human essential nutrients to feed everyone who's alive.
Farming is the single biggest cause of biodiversity collapse, the second biggest cause of climate change.
Soil is the most valuable resource on the planet, and we're degrading it without even realizing.
We have come to believe that money is more important than soil. That idea has to change.
Regenerative agriculture is farming that we're producing food, but also farming in harmony with nature.
You're working with nature, not against it.
The more people see it, the more that they realise that it works.
Having a regenerative agroecological system, that is surely the solution.
Soils are absolutely phenomenal in the amount of carbon they can store.
What we absolutely need now is urgent action from the government.
Until you deal with 9 retailers who have 94.5% of food sales in Britain, you're not going to have a level playing field.
Consumers have a choice. They can decide to buy cheap meat from industrial farms, or they can find farmers that really value animal welfare and the environment that we're farming in.
Dad started regen farming for the future generations to come, and that was the most selfless act he could have done.
The people who are doing this are making big sacrifices.
I think the potential is absolutely huge here.
These farms really can change the world.
It's all about the soil, isn't it, really?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I thought that video, I'm going to be playing that in every single live because I think it's totally awesome. There's so much, everything starts with the soil. It's and what's gotten out there right now, not even in the papers or anything, is what was that? Hold on, guys. Something's playing in the background. I wonder what I'm listening to. Oh, it's a commercial.
Never a dull moment around here.
There we go. The commercial's gone. I was wondering. I'm like, oh no, what could be shown? So I've been Uber in the last. Julie's birthday party was yesterday, which was a great surprise for her, and she got totally trashed, which was good for her 50th. And I had to leave her at my brother's house.
Joseph, there are things we have to talk about.
Terrible.
Your wife had a wonderful time and celebrated her birthday to her fullest extent.
Fullest. And yeah, it was enough where, she slept at my brother's. That's where the party was. And Joey and I went home. And then I went to Uber and Joey stayed home. So that was that. So I had to make up some Uber and hours all day today. Let's see who else just came on in before we have Enoch the Urban Gardener is on, which is so awesome that he came on. We got Prepper 101, Happy Mac, G Mama Grows. Let me see if anybody else came in. There's Built on a Rock Homestead. Thank you, guys.
Me and my shadow had asked earlier if she made it on the wheel, or they, I don't know. They commented, but you didn't check them off.
Okay, welcome in Lisa Ward. Okay, this is the situation with the wheel today. I did everything at work. I did go to my other job today, put all the names in, came to my computer, expected it to be there. It's all gone. I have no idea what happened to it. So we're going to do, I know. So we're going to do the name generator today that we've been using on.
Well, that works.
A hashtag, and it's going to be nice and fast. And we're going to give out.
So if you didn't get on the wheel, today's your lucky day, folks, because anyone can win.
Anyone could win. Okay, well, here is Enoch Graham, the Urban Gardener. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
So, what's the temperatures by you in California? Are you Oregon?
Yep.
Where is it? I forgot now.
I
Oh
know,
my God.
I know. Well, actually, I'm so close to California. I'm just literally 20 minutes down I-5, and it's Northern California. I'm right in Southern Oregon, right in the Rogue Valley. And we're just getting through some freezing temperatures, but I was just looking at the forecast, and it's looking at like low 40s overnight for us. I mean, that's just really, we're having a really warm winter so far for us over here. But I hear about all these winter storms across the country right now, and I'm like, oh man, thank goodness it's not happening to me yet.
We've been really lucky ourselves, but we're going to start getting hit very, very soon.
Yeah.
The only thing we've seen for snow in 2 years was today we had a 5-minute snow squall where it just comes in really heavy, but it was 41 degrees.
Yeah.
Up north, they might have got an inch or two, but here it was gone. It was done.
Yeah,
but,
we had just a few days ago, 4 or 5 days ago, maybe, had some snow come down. I mean, it was looking like, oh, okay, here we go. It's going to finally start to, snow and accumulate. But we saw white for the evening, and that was it. Woke up to it, all gone, so. But
we have a chance in Northern Virginia, some snow tonight. And some tomorrow, maybe. So the kids are hoping for no school on Tuesday. I'll believe it when I see it.
But next week, we're supposed to have a doozy. It's supposed to have a good 10-inch snowstorm. But hey, they don't understand the weather. They don't know what's going to happen with the weather 2 hours from now. 7 days ahead, it could be in the 60s. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
And that's for me in the area. I'm like kind of right in the middle of the states, just kind of right in that middle zone. So where it could just kind of go either or, so, but right now we're kind of staying warmer than everybody else. So I'll keep my fingers crossed that it stays that way.
Now, being that it's winter, it's weird saying that.
Yeah.
I still want to say when's Thanksgiving,
Right.
Do you have anything growing in the garden?
Do I have there's some greens and stuff out there. We got I got some different lettuces that are kind of holding on and some kind of sprouting because like I said, it's getting warm. We're having these little spurts. So that there's things that are trying to pop up and trying to grow, but it isn't doing very much. So I've just kind of left things kind of alone right now. Just kind of letting it sit, and we'll be putting some new things out here in the next couple of weeks, actually, as I keep an eye on the forecast.
What was great is we have I had let some of my lettuce go to seed, and now it's all over it went over my box and everything. Like, let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is all little lettuces popping up. It's really cool. It's like, this is awesome.
Yeah. We've got a whole bunch of spinach too over at my friend's plot at his house that we set up last year, and we let it go to seed. And so we've got, and it's just coming up in all sorts of places now. But it's nice that you got some things that we can go out and get right from the garden if we want to. So.
Well, there's nothing like kale.
Yeah. I wish I'd gotten any planted out. I didn't really get to that. I kind of got busy with a lot of stuff this fall and was working on trying to get that stuff finished up. But hopefully we can get that stuff started up for this next year's garden here in the next couple of weeks, actually.
Now, do you do anything hydroponically?
No, I'm not much of a hydroponic grower. I've got a few good friends who are always doing things hydroponically, and I just haven't really dipped my feet into that yet. But I've been thinking about it. I actually have a kind of a hydroponic type of little system that somebody sent me to set up, and it's for indoors. I just got to figure out kind of it's a automatic water system I got to set up for it, and I just got to figure that out, and maybe I might try something here real soon, but it would be my first shot at it.
So I'm the same way, but Julianna is actually getting to me to do hydroponics. That woman right up there.
Yeah.
Do it.
Stuff growing.
I do. I have arrow gardens in my living room. My neighbors call it my jungle. I have lettuce. I have micro dwarf tomatoes. I have an herb garden one. Whenever I catch a really good sale, I'll buy one or ask Santa on my Christmas list for one, or sometimes Facebook Marketplace. But even outside during the pandemic, my 10-year-old at the time found like this $25,000 hydroponic system on YouTube. And she's like, Mommy, let's get this and do it. It's amazing, because there was no salad in the grocery store. And that's what I like to eat. There is no salad. And I was like, baby girl, that's 25 grand. We don't have that kind of money. Try again. And she came back, and that's how we met Mike with Keep On Growing. You had interviewed him a while back. And he does crack key method. There's no pumps. It's off grid. It's easy. Set it and forget it for the most part until some of these plants get gargantuan and you don't have enough water. But like right now, I have a downspout on my porch, and I've got kale. I've got mustard greens. I don't even know what's in it right now, to be honest, because I forgot about it. And all of a sudden I'm like, hey, there's a flower on my front porch. It's been 18 degrees and one of them went to seed. I'm like, it's the funniest thing to see. I think it's the mustard went to seed, and I have flowers on my front porch right now. So they just have, and it's awesome. I love it. And the kids enjoy it. And anything I can get them into it, if they grow it. So
we're starting to handle a little echo effect, a little delay and stuff.
Sorry.
So
I think my internet's being wonky.
It's called all over the U.S. That's some of the problems we have.
Right. And that's the fun of having a live show. You just got to roll with it sometimes.
You just got to let it roll.
I know well about that for sure. But yeah, I would like to try a little bit more hydroponic type stuff. Like I said, I'm gonna maybe work on this little project for indoors and see how well that works and stuff, and maybe I'll expand and try some other things. But yeah, I've kept my gardening pretty soil traditional.
I do it indoors for fun. I would starve if I tried to do indoor hydroponics, but I do that just for fun, winter blues, whatever you want to call it, mental health, all those good things. But I have a whole soil garden outside when the weather is agreeable.
Yeah. Well, as you can tell, I've got indoor and outdoor. Got a grow. There's actually a grow tent right here that kind of off screen that you can't see, and yeah, we got light stations all over there working, and be doing microgreens and things like that too. So yeah, I've got to keep myself busy with stuff as well. And in fact, I was just clearing a space thinking about this project and all that, but I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do again for the watering system, because it's not in the best location for setting up something like that. So I might have to rethink what I'm doing, but it would be fun. It'd be fun to have something that's hydroponically growing indoors, and then also to be able to increase. What I would do is more lettuces and things like that as well too, especially throughout the summertime, if I could keep them in a more cooler place and a cooler location, because we get really hot summers. So if I'm keeping the indoors nice and cool, I might as well try to have some lettuce growing throughout the summertime indoors hydroponically. So that's kind of one of my goals. I want to try that. I want to do it, but I just haven't had any experience with it. So again, it would be a first time experiment for me.
So I have a suggestion based on your water situation. If it's in a weird place, you can say I'm going to sound like a real girl right here for a second. I don't know the exact term for it, but when you are doing your oil change on your car, it's like a big funnel and it has like a little siphon on the bottom that they're like $2-3 at the auto stores, that sometimes if it's like in a tight spot, you can do that and water in the funnel. I have one of those that I use. So just a thought, if it.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking maybe some sort of pump situation, maybe take one of the 5-gallon buckets, a pump, and then push it in that way, I guess. I'm, again, just kind of
well, I didn't know
on
that if it was that I couldn't get to where the water hole is.
Box to really examine what the whole situation is going to be with it yet, but that's coming up soon for sure.
Now, Juliana likes to, when she did hydroponically, her kids love it. All right. Now, go off that question. The kids love it. Is there anything you think that to get kids interested in growing food, growing vegetables, growing flowers? Like, what is the number one thing in today's world to help kids grow? What makes their eyes open?
Oh, is that for me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, for kids, I mean, anything like, again, I think what we're just talking about right there, and for me, again, the kid in me wants to play around with this project and come up with different ways of making it work and all of that sort of thing too. So I think when you've got like indoor systems like that, like you're talking about the aero gardens and things like that, I think those are fun for kids. They're like science projects in a way, and you get to see and watch these plants grow right indoors, and observe that, in your daily life, that sort of thing. And makes it more accessible again than the outdoor garden, especially during winter time and that sort of thing too, in order to continue to encourage kids to grow food, and learn about how the food grows. And that again is one of those really important things for me. I always reflect back to my childhood. I was a very picky eater. I didn't eat very many vegetables when I was a kid because I was very picky about that stuff, but I didn't also have that experience of growing it or understanding these plants as edible food. I knew house plants, but I didn't know about plants as edible food. So, I think the more you can do that with kids, encourages that. Ron Finley is someone I remember watching one of his TED Talks years ago, and I always repeat what he says is that, kids who grow tomatoes eat tomatoes, and that's just a really important thing, is that if they're got that hands-on experience, makes it even more likely that they're going to have a stronger connection with their food, and probably not be as picky in what they eat as well too.
I just want to say a couple of people that just came in our live. Lithalia's Little Hook just came in. Welcome in, Melanie. New Gaming 23. Welcome to the channel. It's good to see you. Idaho Garden Girls here. Brampton Gardner just came in. Mary's Fiber Creations. Thank you guys for all coming. There's Deborah Richardson. Thank you. There's 42 people in the chat. Thank you guys for coming. Those that expected Carol to come on. Well, we got a surprise guest. It's Enoch Graham, the urban gardener. Now, where could I'm going to show everybody your YouTube page in a second, but talk about your YouTube page.
Our channel, the Urban Gardener, actually I started this, I think, and it's starting to get to be a while back ago. All these years seem to be going by pretty quick, I guess, but we started our channel about 7 years ago, I think, or so, and it was just started as a kind of a garden adventure in my back patio garden. We had a little rooftop pepper garden we did on the carport rooftop, and we expanded into some alleyway gardens and all of that, and just kind of a real emphasis on small space food gardening, and utilizing unused space as well too, some community gardening and things like that as well. And also, one of the things I've had the great opportunity to do is to travel up and down the West Coast here and meet a lot of different gardeners, and do a lot of different videos with some different garden organizations and garden influencers and all of that sort of stuff to make some really cool kind of visiting video features that we did for the channel. And then we've expanded this last year to our Let's Get Growing weekend show. And that's an opportunity for us to be able to do very similar to what you're doing right here. Just have some great conversations with some really awesome gardeners from around the gardening community. And we've been really lucky to have some really, really awesome gardeners. As I see you're flipping through there, Greg Peterson. Look, there's Joe right there too, next to Gardener Scott. And we had all sorts of just really awesome people join with us on the show this last year. So it was a really great success as far as that goes, and so we're really looking forward to getting started up here in the next couple of months for our 2024 season, and with a whole nother lineup of great guests. And we're also kind of expanding the show too. I'm not sure if they're going to launch at the same time or not as when we start the show back up, but we will also start doing a Sunday morning edition of our show as well too, to kind of expand on some of our community connections. And we're going to do these gardening roundtables, and we're going to have a regular guest on I think we're thinking the second Saturday or second Sunday of each month. I'm going to have a regular guest on. We're working on all of that as well too, that will do just kind of like garden Q&As and things like that as well too. So we're working on doing some other things and kind of getting our show back to kind of what we originally thought of it as. And with, like I said, some of the successes of bringing on some really great people onto our show, we now have the opportunity with some new guests that we're going to have in our lineup for next year to also bring back guests who've been on our show previously to do some of these gardening roundtables and things that we're talking about, certain gardening subjects. We're just going to try to dig into, different topics, maybe even some fun controversial ones every now and then. And
you got to bring that up. You got to have the controversy
discussion. So. And that's the thing, there's a lot of things in the gardening world, that I think need some really good clarification when it comes down to it. And if we can get some good, really knowledgeable and popular gardeners together to be able to have these kind of discussions, in group, kind of a group setting where we can kind of bounce things off of each other and talk about some of these things and hopefully clarify certain things with people. I'm just thinking like one issue I had a lot of fun with this last year. I don't know if I could say fun really, but it blossom end rot. There's just so much that people have a misunderstanding about what it is and how it affects our different fruiting plants and things like that too. So I think it would be kind of fun to kind of really dig into that really a lot more with some people, some other people, and just really kind of, get down to it when it comes to those sort of subjects and kind of clarify some information for anybody who kind of follows along with that.
See, the problem with our society, I look at it as society, is people go only so far.
Yeah.
And like what's happening with the soil, people go to a degree, all these high colleges, just any,
the
best of the best. Everybody just goes to a point and stops.
Yeah.
And right now, people are starting. Matt Powers, you got to see what he's doing. Matt is awesome.
Yeah, Matt's been a guest on our show too as well. We had a really great conversation with him about all sorts of soil science things, and that's real. And again too, and that comes back to this feature you were showing at the beginning of your show there too. Is that is the most important thing about in everything that we're doing in gardening, unless of course we're doing some hydroponics. And we're really expanding on some of that sort of stuff. But again, a traditionalist like myself, who's, containers and in-ground gardens and that sort of stuff, is really understanding that, the soil and the soil science and all of that sort of stuff, how important that is to what we're doing and what we're growing. And again, too, these are also, even also going back to what you're talking about with kids, soil science and getting into the science of things. Kids and young kids especially just really love the science. They love learning some knowledge and they love getting down into that. And what better things to teach them than soil science in a sense too, is that they get really hands-on and get dirty and understand what the makeup of the soil is and what its connection is to now roots, and what those roots are doing for our plants that then become our food, and just becomes another great way of educating kids as well too, as we all need to have more of an understanding of the importance of soil, when it comes down to it. It's probably one of the top subjects for any gardener that you should be understanding first, unless of course you're really dabbling into some hydroponics and learning about that sort of stuff. And then there's a whole other science that you can get into with all of that stuff too.
That's chemistry. That is all chemistry now.
Yeah.
With the micros and macros, what they will do to the roots to help your health is the most paramount thing we need to be looking into society, is our health. We're supposed to be eating healthy food.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how healthy is it? Everybody, what the last 6 years what brought us is what's really true and what's false. And everybody could look, that's controversial. There you go.
Yeah.
And that's the problem is the vegetables in the store, what's healthy, what's not. The brassicas that we eat.
Yeah.
What kind of chemicals are put in our broccoli and cauliflower and all the brassica, our kale?
Yeah.
If it's not organic, what's put on it? And if it's organic, what's put on those?
Yeah. Yeah. We can get into those sort of things as well too. In the long run, much rather have people eating vegetables over other processed foods and all that sort of stuff, but then preferably organic sources, local farmers markets, and even better, growing for yourself, because then that also expands the varieties and the things that are available to you that you can do. So that's where gardening really becomes important in understanding and being able to supplement the foods that you get for yourself right out of your gardens. But food is the most important thing. I mean, there's a lot of things in medical science and all that stuff that is important to us and important to our survival as people and all of that. But I mean, it was, one of the real tests for me and my doctor is, what are they recommending to me, and is it food solutions first? That sort of
Yep.
thing. And that's a big thing. And I have a lot of discussions actually with my doctor about that sort of stuff. And they've told me that it's because of those conversations they've even had with me that's encouraged them to be more food first with other things that they're thinking about in their practice, because that's really what it comes down to for most of us in our health is food and what we're consuming, and moving from processed foods and all of that is truly important, and that's and that's the case for all of us. We should just be looking at that, in our personal day-to-day lives, and then again too, like for me and what I do for my channel and all of that is hoping to show people that even in small spaces in the city and that sort of stuff, you can find ways to grow your own food and expand that food availability.
See, what I'm starting to look into is my spring garden should be all brassicas inside, hydroponically.
Yeah.
All right. My summer's garden should be my summer garden. My fall garden should be outside brassicas. So hydroponic in a spring, summer is your summer, and your fall is your back to your brassicas.
Yeah.
Just because the insect pest is a lot less in the fall, because you get the cool temperatures, and you want to get ready for summer, so you have your whole long garden summer season, and grow your hydroponically in the spring. You have less bugs inside than outside, and if you get some ladybugs, you could put them inside. They're not going anywhere.
Don't worry about it, right? Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I have worked little systems for myself, and and make sure that I've got a certain amount of things that I've got growing for myself all the time, throughout each season. Over the last few years, though, I could definitely be a little bit better at getting my fall stuff done, because that really sets me back when I don't get that stuff going and have that stuff available. But I've got so much growing than what one normal person would have, in a sense. So, there's always something for me out there.
Yeah. Now, guest wise, I can't wait to have Mark on my show. I still got to talk to him. I plan on doing it. And I can never pronounce his middle name. That's the reason why I only said Mark.
Mark?
Maybe it's not Mark. Oh my God. Yeah, Mark. Mark Aubert.
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
Yeah, that's my good friend Mark from Portland there. Yeah. You got to have him on. He's such a great conversation, and such a knowledgeable person about gardening. And when it comes, especially when you're talking about garden education, I mean, he is literally a garden educator. He teaches all different grade school kids through, I think, middle school even. I'm not sure the age range, but I know it's a good age range that he teaches there at a Montessori school in Portland.
I really enjoy listening to him. It's very easy listening to. You feel like you're at home, like you're when he talks, you're inspired. That's
and I tell him this, and I've actually been trying to encourage him to get back on our show for this next year, and we'll try to hopefully have him on in some sort of capacity. But I've encouraged him to like do a little bit more when it comes to video content himself, because he really just has a great personality that translates well through the camera, when he's talking about things. And we've done several things with each other, and I've had him on a lot of different videos, from growing microgreens to the rooftop gardens that he grows for this restaurant in downtown Portland, up on this 4-story building in downtown Portland. That's where I actually met him. like 7 years ago, was up on that rooftop there, and while I was trying to film a video. And yeah, we've done videos from the Northwest Flower and Garden Show. He did a really great top 10 for this last year's flower and garden show, which which is a great one. Like if you want to see like a really good garden show, and it's like one of the first ones of the year too. That happens like in mid-February in Seattle. But yeah, just he's a really great guest. You should definitely have him on, and I'm sure he'd be willing to talk about whatever too.
And I like you had Danny on, because when she was on our show last time, I'm like, I might have you on, and all of a sudden she was on. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Danny was great.
Yeah, I met her through when she first started her gardening channel on YouTube. She was in this YouTube gardeners group on Facebook that I met her through, and started following her channel from really early on and all that. So she was on my list of trying to get folks on similar to yourself, people that I've gotten to really kind of follow along and all of that I really wanted to make sure were a part of the first year of the show. And when we kind of scaled back in the middle of the year because of some staffing issue things, I had to kind of scrap a couple of the segments, and so that kind of like put her on the back burner as far as the guests, because we weren't really inviting people for that for those segments. But it came down to like I got everybody I wanted for the first year except for just a couple of people. We had just a couple of episodes left that I was going to do, and they were extras from what I actually planned. So that kind of just gave me an extra opportunity. I was like, you know what, we got to have her on and talk all about all of her gardening and her channel and all of that as well too.
Thank you everyone that just came on
Yeah,
in.
but that's a great.
Oops, sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Dawn Yorndal just came on in. You got Psalm 146 Home and Garden just came on in. Kim and G, and a couple other people. Sorry if I didn't say your name, but welcome in. Thank you guys. Now, what guest that you had on your show besides Mark that lives like you talk on a phone, that you have some kind of a good relationship with?
Guess oh yeah, well several like Wendy Fan. She's just a really good friend that I met through going. Actually, I met her at the first heirloom exposition that I went to back in 2017, and we've been friends kind of ever since, and we kind of chat and talk all the time, and so that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to make sure she was my very first guest, so I could have like a really cool friend, someone I was used to talking to, and that sort of thing, to kind of launch the show and get it going and all of that too. So that, and John Kohler, he's a really good friend to Wendy and John. We're kind of like a small little group of people. We're always getting together, doing certain things, and shooting videos with each other, whether I'm in Los Angeles or I'm over in Las Vegas, and getting to see him and all of that too. So which was kind of fun too. This last heirloom exposition, I invited both of them on a nice cool hike, so we ended up just kind of having this really cool day where we got to spend the day just hiking in I think it was called Baldwin Hills in Los Angeles there. So it was this really cool hike, but it had like this staircase that goes straight up this hill, and it's like a really long staircase, so we ended up hiking up and down that thing, and boy, oh boy, that wore me out, but but it was a great time and a great visit to hang out with them and get to talk with them, and just kind of spend time with each other, and we kind of talk about what we're doing with each other's channels and kind of bounce ideas off each other and talk about things that are working and not working and that sort of stuff too. So, and for me, it's mostly me trying to glean information from them, Yeah. But yeah, those are two of my really good friends. But that's the one thing too that is really kind of fun about the show though too, is that I kind of take each conversation on in that sort of fashion. It's just and I tell everybody in emails before we get the show started and all of that we kind of, here's a few questions. These are just guide us in our conversation, but other than that, we're just gonna have a fun conversation. And I always tell everybody, if you have questions for me, throw them at me, that sort of thing. Let's just kind of have a fun conversation. And each time I get nervous about starting the show, I'm like, oh, I don't wonder how this is gonna go. And every time I end the show with like, wow, that was really awesome. Always a great conversation with fellow gardeners and people who just share in the same passion of growing and, especially growing food and that sort of stuff.
The way I look at it, you can agree or disagree. It doesn't matter. You find something interesting that works for you, put it in your pocket. You find something that's interesting, put it in your pocket. But you don't have to agree with everything everybody says.
No.
Just listen.
Yeah, there's plenty of room in gardening for different interpretations and things that can be done in different ways. And for the most part, there's still a certain way certain things work. But for the most part, there's enough flexibility in gardening that we can all try different things and have, certain things that work for us versus how well it works for others,
It's like the guy from Jersey, the guy from Tom's River, James Pergoni. There we go. Yeah. You got it. He only lives 15 minutes from me, by the way. One of his vegetables he will never grow again is kohlrabi.
Yeah.
And he had his reasons why. For me, kohlrabi, you better grow it.
Yeah. I've actually really enjoyed it. I was surprised. I grew it for fun because it was a funky looking vegetable and just looked cool in the garden. But, I actually, was growing it, so I might as well try it. I was giving it to this other neighbor who was, using it. And so I took one and cooked it up similar to like a potato, and it was really delicious. So I was really surprised about that. So that's a really fun thing about gardening too, is that you get to try some new things you wouldn't think that you would like and discover different stuff like that, and kohlrabi was definitely one of those.
Juliana, did you have the same thing? Did you ever grow something that you have no idea what it tastes like, but you grew it and you're like, wow, this is really good?
Almost every year, everything I grow, because I like to try new things. Like, honestly, you were talking about the kids earlier, and we all know this catalog very well. Why?
Yeah.
Because my kids will pick that out. Green peas? No, purple peas, right?
Purple, yes.
And I had kids up and down my block, all of them, eating peas fresh out of my garden. You got any more, Miss Julie? And their mothers are like, what did you do to my child? They hate peas. Why? I was like, it's purple. It's purple. It's still a pea. It doesn't taste any different. It's purple. And I'll just give my kids the catalog, and the weirder, the better. And it's something they've never seen before. And okay, let's grow it. So it's just one of those things where why not? I've never had kohlrabi. I have tried. I have failed. I'm going to do it this year. I'm determined. Yes. See, look, Grid Company. We have the same book right there, sir. Good.
Yeah, I got the free version there.
Oh, I got one of those too, because that's for my child. This is my birthday present every year. My husband buys me. Then he can't. I get the catalog, and he doesn't, complain that I'm spending money on a catalog when there's a free one. So
yeah, Joe's got his stack.
All right, Joe. Joe's is bigger.
I gotta go bigger.
Yeah, I've got
that's Joe.
Just a few.
I'll show you mine. You show me yours.
Yeah.
But it was saying in the chat earlier, I was substituting in the library at school last week, and they pulled me to go do the STEAM teachers classes. And by the end of the second period, the STEAM or the paraprofessional was like, what grade do you teach? And I was like, I don't. She goes, no, seriously, how could you know that much as a substitute teacher? I'm like, sorry, ma'am, I'm just a garden nerd. Like, it was the water cycle, soil web, and food webs. I'm like, and she's like, I've never seen this class so quiet and asking so many questions, and you knew all the answers. I was like, I'm smarter than fourth grade. I can handle this, right? Like I can handle fourth graders' questions. But I was like, I'm just a garden nerd. You got to know all this stuff to get your garden to grow and be successful. And, you know, like Joe said, you hear something, you just put it in your pocket and carry it with you. So, I mean, kids want to learn. They want to know. I'm looking forward to this spring. I'm supposed to most likely be helping the elementary school that my daughter goes to with their community gardens at their school, helping get those started. They've emailed me, reached out from the grant department. So maybe we'll see how that goes. But kids want to. They want to grow. They want to learn this stuff. But just picking it up in the grocery store, I'm like, I would hate a tomato if you gave it to me from the grocery store. Give me one fresh out of my backyard. I took a whole spaghetti colander to the bus stop one day, and every single kid left with like seed juice all down the front of them getting on the bus. I was like, oh God, their parents are going to hate me. But I mean, I've never seen kids eat 20, 30, 40 tomatoes at the bus stop at 9 o'clock in the morning. These kids couldn't get enough of them, because when you give them real food, they respond differently than that boiled mush that's overcooked and tasted crap to begin with.
Yeah.
As far as food is concerned, when it's fresh, it's different. So I love to garden, and I will get involved, and I'll put it out front. I'll put it outside, whatever you need. I got extra, here you go. Give all my extra plants to my neighbors, because I can't kill the extras. I don't have room for them. I'm a lot like you, Mr. Urban Gardener. I don't have a whole lot of room in my backyard. So
that's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
well, I live on a military base, and we're not allowed to dig in the ground. We might dig something up accidentally. So, you know, everything's raised beds. It has to be approved. They have to see it. They have to say, like, think homeowners association on steroids. So it's very, very strategic with what you do when you live where we live.
Yeah. But you find ways to get it done, though.
Yes. And growing weird food does it every time. What is that? That's unique. Why is it that color? Is it supposed to look like that? Right?
That's great. Yeah.
It's the military. It should be all kind of weird, kind of little things, you know?
But the Peter Pepper's out front here, Joe. I might get a different kind of a different result here.
At 8 o'clock, we have our Georgia Suburban Homestead. It's going to be on 8 o'clock, and that is Lisa. So stay tuned, guys. We have 51 people in the chat, which is awesome. So talk about catalogs, Nick. What is the best, besides Baker's Creek? We know Baker's Creek has the most ultimate catalog. Who is second place? Like, if it's color, pictures, burpee.
Oh, yeah.
That's like asking me to pick my favorite child, Joe. I can't do that.
Whoever does the pictures in the burpee catalog should be given a prize, because the pictures are absolutely amazing.
That's what puts them right with Baker Creek is their photography and all of that. Yes. But my favorite, I don't have one right here. One of my other favorites is for illustrations, and the artwork is Fedco. I don't know if you've ever seen Fedco seed catalog, but it's all of these really cool illustrations and these cool like doodle art and all of that. But throughout the whole book, they got these really cool, fun illustrations. But I've got this one here. This is a Territorial Seed. This is local to me. So Territorial Seeds, just right out of Cottage Grove, Oregon. It's kind of central Oregon. And then the other one I got here that I really like, I get this catalog and go through, and I probably buy a few different varieties each year, is High Mowing. So I get High Mowing Seed has got that. And they are really, really great with information and tons of variety, but really good planting information and those sort of things that you need, and great source for microgreens and things like that if you need as well too. Yeah.
You know what?
I'm super excited, Joe. I have to tell you, I have a microgreen project. We're starting at my house February 1st with my girls. That I have red amaranth seeds, and I'm going to make a heart out of cardstock and do a red heart out of red amaranth, garnet I think it's called. And then I'm going to put green cabbage all around it. And that's going to be our centerpiece for Valentine's Day. Because by the time it grows up in 2 weeks, I'll have a red heart in the middle of a green seed quilt, if you will, of cabbage background. So that's my fun, cool kid science experiment microgreen project.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Hammer.
I'm a nerd.
Hammer.
Mhm. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. It's always good to try new things, that's for sure. Another catalog I always loved was Johnny Seeds. I think there's so much information from there on the page, from their everything, from the page, their site, to the book,
We got
to
a
everything.
Johnny's here too. Johnny's.
I got that here somewhere.
Love Johnny's. Harris
And then
Seeds.
Also got a Seed Savers Exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Really great.
Are you a member from there too?
Not a member though. I haven't been a member. I do get the catalog though every year.
I became a member there this year, and they gave you like a free seed packet. They gave you a couple other things, which is pretty cool. And I think it was $25 or something like that. I thought it was well worth the money actually, and you get discounts during the year, so that was pretty cool. Harris Seeds, I definitely think that was they're trying to promote themselves pretty good.
Harris Seed.
Yeah,
so many great seed companies out there. Great companies. Right
that's
now,
how they make their money.
That's right.
I think I don't like Burpee Seeds is not my favorite seed, but you know what? When you see those pictures, you're like, man, I got to get that. You see a tomato with a picture, you're like, I got to get that. You know, then you grow it, and you're like, oh, this is not as good as I thought.
Yeah. Right now,
Perfecto.
too, I have to give a shout out to Sarah's Seed Shop. I've been promoting her seed shop for a little while since she got that started. It's a really cool little seed shop with a good selection of essentials. Just like all of your regular essentials, carrot varieties, lettuces, tomatoes, lots of different things like that. But she only charges 75 cents a packet. You're not getting all the fancy packet or anything like that, but it's only 75 cents for each variety that she's got there. And I promote hers because she's taking on a legacy of a good gardener from YouTube. I used to follow all the time Ray Browning, at a channel called Praxis 55712, and he was always someone that I really enjoyed watching. But he retired from doing everything and basically sold his seed shop to her, and she's been doing that. And so she's an online only kind of business. So that's kind of one of the things also is to kind of promote some small businesses and people who are out there.
Praxis was great. That his cherry tomato was awesome. The Praxis cherry tomato.
Yep. And I have those if anybody needs any of those too. I always have Praxis cherry tomatoes for a giveaway to anybody who needs those.
But like the price of our elephant garlic, $5, you can't beat that. I mean, the seeds, like you said.
So RH Shumway. Sorry, RH Shumway is one that I just came across recently.
Oh, yeah, I think her connections.
Yeah, her connection's not the best.
Yeah,
it's the army base.
Yeah. Thanks for putting that up there. Yeah, it's just really great. So she'll hopefully be. We're gonna try to do some things to work together with our show this next year, so we can kind of help promote and help her grow her seed shop business there too. So and she's just getting started too, so that's that selection will continue to grow and grow and grow. But I encourage everybody out there to make a bookmark or something like that, and if you're thinking of any sort of essentials, go by there and check those out first, and then get all of your fun, crazy varieties from all these other great companies. They got all these cool, fun varieties of things and stuff.
And it deals a deal. So, elephant garlic is elephant garlic. Seed is a seed. You get something cheap, go for it. Try it out.
Yeah.
So RH Shumway, as I was saying, I think I have too many kids on the internet. I apologize. It's a 154-year-old seed company that I stumbled upon recently. And for a brief moment, I, no joke, was like sitting in my grandfather's armchair with him reading his seed catalogs from 40 years ago. It was like antique style, vintage, but it also had photography that was beautiful, but it had like a vintage style, the handwritten drawings and the typeface. It just took me back for a moment, and like I snapped out of it and I was like, oh nope, I'm still old in my living room. Like, and but yeah, that one, like it was amazing. I only saw it online. I haven't gotten mine in the mail yet, but I was like, I need that one in my life because it brought a tear of happiness on a sad night to my world.
Well, that's how you keep generations all start somewhere. So then you got to keep on continuing it.
Yep.
And when your friends, your kids' friends come on over, you feed them, here, try this, or take them out to the garden and they try new food. We did potatoes in a bucket. And all of a sudden, they're like, yeah, there's potatoes in that bucket. They're like, yeah, there's no potatoes in that bucket. All of a sudden, we poured them out, and they're like, whoa, dig it on through. They thought it was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
My daughter created a ranch garden one year, and I'm like, it was so out in left field. And then when she said it and told me her idea, I was like, that makes perfect sense. We got like the biggest pot I could find, and she put her chives in it and her onions, and she put romaine lettuce leaf, like she put garlic in there. She put all the things you would use to make ranch salad dressing plus lettuce in a pot together. And yes, I know they don't all grow together at the right time of the year, but don't tell the child that, right? So she grew them all, and the garlic wasn't garlic, it wasn't in the ground long enough. We cut the tops and dehydrated them, and we blended it up, and she took the clove and chopped it up and made salad dressing mix for the whole family for Christmas that year. And she was so proud of it. I'm like, but that was her thing. That's the thing that got her out of the house and into the garden was, could I grow my own salad dressing? Yes, you can. Let's figure it out. Let's get the seed catalogs out and let's get some recipes and let's get growing, right? Like,
that's
anything that gets them into it. Don't tell them no. Just okay.
Any sort of theme thing like that is really great too. And that bringing back Mark. One of the videos we did with him was we went to his school, and I did a video kind of showing how he had grown these different, tomatoes and the cilantro and the onions and the different things to make like a salsa. So kind of like a salsa themed, like salsa garden type thing. And that was kind of their project for the day, was then going and harvesting and making up this salsa. And so, similar as we were talking about, is that, here they are, they're hands-on with everything. They're, cutting it all up and they're putting it all together. And those kids were eating chips and salsa and eating this fresh tomato salsa and just loving it, and some of those kids might not have actually even, probably wanted to or thought it would have been good or anything, but because everyone else was, they tried it and found out, discovered it instead, and that sort of thing. So, doing that sort of stuff is great. And I think those are cool for kids, those themed type garden type things, so that they can, make something.
But you get pizza gardens and salsa gardens, cocktail gardens. I've never heard of a ranch dressing garden, but okay, we'll figure it out.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's already 8:00. That was way too fast for an hour.
Yeah, I know, huh? That just really blew by, right?
When you're having fun and you talk gardening, you just want to keep on going and going and going and going and going.
I know. That's the thing. And I tell all my guests too, as I can just keep talking and talking too, and I can keep this thing going and going, because I can talk gardening all day, all night, all the time. So there's so much to talk about, and I can do it. But when it comes down to it, we only got so much time.
So everybody, check out the Urban Gardener. Check out his link. Go back, replay the live. Check out it. If you could post his link in the chat, I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely come check us out. We'll have the new Let's Get Growing show. I'll be coming back live this next Saturday. We'll be doing some live live streams on Saturdays at the normal time leading up to the launch of our next season for Let's Get Growing. And yeah, and we're going to have a really great season. I did announce on my last live stream our very first guest for this next season, and that's going to be Mark Valencia from Self-Sufficient Me is going to join us for our very first Let's Get Growing show. So it's going to be really exciting, and I hope that all of you guys who are watching here tonight with Joe come and join us for all of that. And that should be right.
I love him.
Yeah, right at the beginning of March, I think, is when we're going to get launched again. So
how excited is that?
You can come join us any Saturday leading up until then, and we'll be ready to talk more gardening with all of you here.
Awesome. Well, let's get gardening.
That's right. Let's get growing.
Let's get growing. Let's get gardening.
Let's grow.
Let's grow. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it, Enoch.
And we'll talk Joe. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Thanks.
He's a great guy. He is amazing guy.
Absolutely.
It's research and way he connects with people by, it's amazing when you connect people, just like how I used to connect with my gardener, just going, asking questions, email, questioning. And sooner or later you get relationships. It's amazing how far you could go with them. Just be real. If you're real with the people in the gardening community, it'll be real back to you. Everybody could tell somebody when they're fake. Anybody could tell when there's somebody's fake or just trying to get something from you. Like, no, I want to give you my knowledge. I want to make you smile. I want to make you laugh. I don't want to get anything from you.
You're doing it for real. You're not doing it for the gram, so to speak.
So we got let me give some stuff away, but we don't want to go too far, but we got a lot of stuff to give away today. Let me get going. It's going to be nice and easy. We don't have a wheel today, guys. So Lisa's been in the chat for the last 20 minutes, so I want to get that going. But I want to give some prizes out right off the bat. We got 57 people in the chat. So we're going to use the StreamYard giveaway tool.
Very cool.
Which is pretty cool. And we'll have other kind of giveaway tools very soon. Giveaway something different, which is pretty cool. So we're going to put hashtag Juliana in. Juliana.
Oh, dear Lord. Do you even know how to spell my name?
J-U-N-I. Yeah, I think that's it. And we're going to get the first one's going to be.
That's wrong.
Really, is it really? Okay, well, it's close enough.
It's okay. That's okay. You're okay. Well, you wrote you said Juliana, but that's not my name. My name is Julianna with 2 N's, but that's okay. You have more than one giveaway. So do hashtag Juliana, then you can do Juliana, and maybe if I publicly shame you, you'll get it right.
Have I always spelled it wrong then? You never corrected me until now. Jeez.
Oh, I've always corrected you. Always.
So,
you just don't listen.
This is
right, Mike. He doesn't listen. Mike's chaotic garden. Are you here tonight? He doesn't listen.
It's not chaotic.
Yeah. Where's Huga at? She'll tell me. She'll defend me. How long did it take you to get that?
How about Letha Leia?
Yeah. See, you still don't have it right.
This first prize is a really awesome gift. So I'm going to show you guys after the first one, but this is a blend jet. It's a portable blender. It's portable. Ooh. So this is really, really awesome gift. And we got some yarny stuff to give away too, but this is a really awesome gift. So we're going to give this one away. Then we got more stuff a little later, but this is really, really awesome gift.
I like it.
So there's 43 entries. Let's get going. Let's draw and let's see who the first winner of today is going to be.
No whammies, no whammies. Big money, big money.
Casings 55.
Congratulations, Casings 55.
So let me get out of there quick. That was pretty awesome. This is an awesome gift, guys. Look, it's portable. You just press it and
It's a fun one.
boom.
Look, it's blue. It's in my color wheel.
That is awesome. Get put that to the side.
Blue, blue, blue.
Blue. Later on, we still have. Let me see. We're gonna give a tea infuser. We got some white yarn. We got some books. It's still winter, so we can make our hats. And we got some books, and we got a lot of seeds. A lot of seeds. I like this one. Look at this bloom flower.
Oh, that's pretty. Which one is that?
This one is blue.
Blue.
This one's
I think
the
I
white.
have the white one. Yeah, I think I have that one.
We got the Fuji blue too.
Mm.
But yeah. Wow, I got a lot of seats there. Well, enough of that. Let's welcome Lisa from our Georgia Suburban Homestead. Hello.
Howdy
How you doing, Lisa?
Howdy doody.
Howdy doody.
Howdy to you.
So I did get some email today. I'm not email, mail.
Yeah.
And chat masala.
Have something weird in it for you?
I know it's a little heat.
Did you try it?
No, I didn't try it.
Oh, I was hoping you would try it.
No,
Do it now. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Yeah, you got a piece of fruit there?
No, I do not have any fruit. I do have.
He's got a finger. It's fine.
No, it to get the full effect, it's gotta be on the sweetness of fruit.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
I came up. I Ubered all day today, and I worked last. I came home 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. So I was not home pretty much yesterday, and I wasn't home basically today. So
Oh heck, I was looking for. I loved it when you ate my pepper jelly on camera. I was hoping that you would try that, but.
Oh, that was so good too. That was so good.
I have come up with even more recipes since then, and we just started doing our doing the weekend pop-up markets, like farmers market type things, and I sell out of the pepper jelly for each one. So then we spend the next 2 weeks making jelly. I've kind of turned into the jelly queen here. But the really, really hot pepper jellies I'm making with the mango and other fruits in it people are using to coat their chicken wings.
Oh, wow.
We're getting a reputation, evidently, because I had 2 people come into the last booth we had in December saying, "Are you the hot pepper chick? You got that chicken wing pepper here, that jelly here?" So I'm going to have to send you some of that. It's made with ahi cherry.
Ooh.
Are you familiar with
the small little peppers?
Oh, yeah, they'll kick your butt. I mean, they are hot. Really
Some
hot.
of the little ones surprised the heck out. Actually, the smaller, the hotter it seems.
Oh, it's amazing.
They really, and there's so many peppers that grow in that plant. It's like so abundant. It's like,
you open the jar and you're like, oh my gosh, what is that? Yeah.
I always like the sweet in the heat. Yeah, I like the sweetness. Even if it's just like a simple pineapple with any kind of pepper heat. Oh,
Well, I put pineapple in with the really hot peppers because it cuts the pain. I don't think it really adds flavor, but something to do with the enzyme in the pineapple will kind of lower the pain level. I mean, you still get the heat, but you don't get that painful heat that sometimes you can have.
Interesting.
I'm not a fan of the pain, I mean, I don't want to cry or anything. I want to I want to taste something. I want it to be good. If it's really hot, I still want it to taste really good.
Bill is asking me, do I mail order? Yes, I do.
Let me
But
show
I don't know if Joe wants me to advertise what I'm selling. But
you could advertise whatever you want. It's all good with me.
okay, my
You're not advertising. You're answering questions. It's different.
my email address up underneath my picture. So if we end up talking about anything you may want to try,
right.
Just email me if you don't mind. So how do I do that once we're already on the screen?
So if you go to our Georgia Suburban Homestead, Jane Doe is going to list your link, a link to your site, and that's right here. I'm showing it right now. Our Georgia Suburban Homestead. The only thing you have to do is click this arrow here, and you view the email address, and then you email from there.
That'll work.
Okay, I don't know what I did with my settings. Now I can't see you, but I'll go over and watch it on YouTube, I guess. Okay. Did I knock myself out? No. Okay.
No, you're there. You're good. So this is your YouTube page.
Yes, my name's Lisa, Flash Ministries. How you doing? You know, my dyslexia is kicking in. Serena typed in, I cold stratified my saliva seed is the way I read that. Saliva seed. You're talking seed catalogs, so I grabbed this one. Have you heard of this one?
But let me get out of here. Let me see. Hold on one second. Growers Catalog. Which one is that from?
Nee.
No, I never heard of that one yet. I didn't get that one yet.
It's N-E, nee, seed.
Oh, yeah, I do have that one. Okay.
Yeah, I discovered them. And when did COVID hit us? 2020? In 2020, we decided we'd grow 3,000 onions. And the extension agent for the University of Georgia said, contact these people for your onion seed. It's what all the professional growers, the people in Valdalia who do all those Valdalia onions get their onion seed. And I have to say it's 100% germination, very reasonable prices. Will tell you, depending on where you grow, like we grow short day versions of onions here. Further north where you are, Joe, I think maybe you're looking for a long day onion. Is that right?
Yes, long day, definitely.
They have some long day varieties if they haven't already sold out. So here in Georgia, we plant our onions. I start the seed in September and plant out the seedlings at the end of October. But I had really, really great germination and decent prices.
Well, that's what we have an affiliation with on our site with M.I. Gardner and Mary's Heirloom Seeds. And just let you guys know, if you use hashtag grow big and M.I. Gardner, you get 10% off, and it's free shipping after $18. So it's like 25% off. And at Mary's Heirloom Seeds, if you use the word grow big, you get 10% off your seeds. And I think if you spend $20, you get free shipping there.
The live you were in the other day when she was here, I went ahead and opened her site, and it's still open on I still have her tab up. I haven't been ordering seeds yet this year until today. Actually, I started sweet peppers this year for the husband who's sitting over here who can't take the heat that you and I can take, Joe.
So I made pepper jelly 2 years ago, I think. It was the year I was growing ghost peppers. And I put one ghost pepper seeded I pureed it in all the stuff that was in the jelly. And then I did all of the peppers that go in it were red bell peppers. And that came out really good. But I'm like, what else am I going to do with the rest of these peppers? Like, I grew them just because I could. I could not even begin to use what I grew.
You can ferment them. Have you done any fermenting?
I tried once and it got all moldy on me because I didn't do it right. And I was like, this is not for me. And I have not tried again. But this is a new year and we moved and everything's new. So maybe this year might be the year.
Cool. I was going to say, if you ferment them or put them in vinegar, it virtually keeps for like decades. And then you take an eyedropper and just put an eyedropper of it in anything else you're cooking, if even an eyedropper.
Yeah.
For the ghost peppers. But I don't particularly like the flavor of the ghost. I don't go any hotter than a Scotch bonnet.
Yeah.
I try not to.
Anything hotter. The only thing you could basically do is you can't really eat them because you're not going to enjoy it. But if you dehydrate those hot peppers hotter than that, it's fine because then you can just sprinkle on the heat what you want. And it's still amazing how some of those have a fruity taste. Like I had Pepper X. I had the Pepper X steak sauce the other day. And I thought it was going to be like okay, I'm going to die. Why did I do this? And it wasn't actually that bad. It wasn't that bad. Let me see. So Serena has a question. I cold stratified my salvia seeds in the freezer and have 6 planted in a tray sitting on my heating mat. Do I turn it on or leave it off?
For the pepper seeds on a heating mat?
No, a salvia seeds.
A salvia. I don't really grow salvia, so I couldn't answer that. Can you, Joe?
No, Serena, I might have to get back to you on that one. I think you could just turn it off. I don't think after a couple days, I don't think you need it on. Let me write that down so I can go back to that.
So I have a question for you, Lisa, while he's doing that about onions.
The salvia will germinate at 75 degrees.
Yes, basically room.
Yeah,
Right.
so if it's room temperature, you should be okay.
Yep. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make, anybody has a question, if we don't know it now, we could find out in a couple days in that time period. So don't,
I'm a quick caller.
A lot of people, if you even some of the best gardeners out there, we don't know, not everybody knows everything. But man, we can research the heck out of it and get your answer, and we all learn together. So
between the three of us, we can probably answer just about anything, right?
Let's go.
What were you going to ask me, hon?
I was going to say I have an onion question. I live at 38 latitude. I was Googling this, trying to figure out long day, short day, intermediate. And the catalog says long day is 36 degrees in north, but then it has me in for intermediate and for short day. Is there a benefit to intermediate over short, or like
it's the length, it's the amount
doesn't
of
matter?
Yeah, it depends on how much sunlight you get that the onion does best in. So if I don't know if you're familiar with the climate here in Georgia, but typically we're cooler from mid-October until beginning of March, and with our coldest days in late January, early February. In fact, next week we're down to 12 degrees a couple of nights. So if we get the onions in, sprouted and in October, then they get that cold treatment, and then as it starts warming up and the days get longer, they're ready, boom, in the spring, right? Whereas up north, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, please. You start your onion seeds about now or February?
About right now.
Yeah.
Now.
Yep. 12 weeks. 12 to 16 weeks, depending. So it said, basically, I'm looking at the map, and I will say real quick, don't you know, I do see you. Just give me 30 seconds, and I'll say it. It said, like, intermediates here, but then it showed the long day overlapping the intermediate. So my question was more of would intermediate be better for me in Virginia because it's closer to the long day versus the short day? Does it matter? Am I overthinking it?
I think you are in a region where you could do 2 crops. You could
Got
do
it.
the short day probably in the fall and start the intermediate or the medium-sized day now, and then you'll have a supply of onions for quite a while.
Right.
Joe, don't you know, had posted something about blend jets are being recalled, or there's a big recall on blend jets. So just look into that and make sure that's not one of them before you send it out, maybe, kind of, sort of.
Okay.
Yeah.
She posted it in the comments.
I'm responding to Suzanne.
Yes, so Holistic Heritage Homestead said, I never understood how the garlic can ferment in honey, being that honey is antimicrobial. I have fermented before, but have never put garlic with honey.
For me, it makes sense for... No, actually, the medicinal properties of both the garlic and the honey complement each other. So the fermented garlic in honey actually is an enhanced immune system booster. You do have to make sure that your pH is correct while the honey is fermenting, and that you don't have any mold growing, because if you've got mold in garlic, that's or in honey, it can be a bad thing for the botulism. So there's a YouTube channel that she does wonderful. Gosh, what is it called? It's someone ferments. Give me a second and I'll find the channel for you. And she actually will show you the meter that you use and how to keep yourself healthy from that. Let's see. Clean Food Living. If you go into the search bar at YouTube and type in fermenting garlic in honey, comes up fermented garlic and honey with safety tip to prevent honey botulism poisoning. Okay.
Gotcha.
And she's so cute. This girl is so cute. But she does the best videos on fermenting I've ever seen. Very detailed, very precise, exactly what you need to do. But anyway, that's my plug. And she doesn't know me. I don't know her, except that I watch her videos when I have a question on fermenting. And I ferment. My neighbors like to buy my fermented things. And I've got a neighbor across the street who likes my honey fermented cranberries. And it's basically...
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, cranberries for your urinary tract health. And if you're prone to UTIs, this really helps you out with the antibacterial properties of the honey. And the cranberries takes that sting out of the UTI. I put a stick of cinnamon in it and raw turmeric, not the dried, but raw living turmeric and ginger. And I ferment that. And I challenge you not to sit there and just eat the jar, but but I'll roast duck, and I will add a little bit of lavender flowers to the top of the duck and spoon this on it and slow roast the duck.
All right, I'm just moving in. Tell me when. I'm moving in.
And the kids will be right behind you. And if you go away,
not leave them here.
So, Holistic Heritage Homestead. I eat garlic when I'm sick. Lots of beneficial compounds, including allicin. How do you pronounce that? Allicin? Allicin, which is bioavailable when crushed and chopped. It's great. Raw honey is also very good for you, without a doubt.
We're lucky enough to have our own beehive, so that's about as raw and local as you get, right from the backyard.
Now, how long have you had it?
So when you chop or cut up garlic, it's like a 30 or 60 second window, it produces that, I believe it's an enzyme, chemical reaction enzyme. I might be getting my word wrong here. It creates that allicin. So if you took a whole clove and swallowed it whole, you'll never get any of it. But the moment it's crushed, chopped, whatever, you let it sit for 30 or 60 seconds, it produces that chemical reaction thing. And then you have it and you get the benefit of it. And that definitely helps when you are sick. I don't have the good words tonight, folks.
I do the karate chop. You put the clove down, put your cleaver on top, and then hit it with your fist. Crush it, and then put it in your honey to ferment.
Now, have you made elderberry tinctures?
Yes, I have. We grow elderberry. We've got Johnny's and what's the other? Adams and Johnny's varieties, because you really need two different varieties of elderberry to get a good full crop. And one of the elderberries is, and I can never remember which one it is, whether it's Johnny or the other ones. It gives me a plump berry that's great for the jellies and the pies, and the other gives a smaller, which is good for the ferments. But yes, to answer, long way around answering your question, we do grow elderberry.
Now, do you use rum or vodka?
We like to do halal recipes, so I may use a glycerin.
Okay.
But vodka, as long as it's at least 90 proof, vodka is a good extraction.
So if there's any kind of questions, just make sure they are all in caps, so it's just easier to.
They stand out. Yeah.
Captain Morgan makes amazing vanilla extract.
Yeah, I made like 4 or 5 gallons of vanilla extract using different vanilla beans from around the world. I'm a member of a co-op, and different alcohols. Getting ready to do these markets, thinking, that would be something people would really like. And then I got, each market requires something different. One might require you to have insurance. The next one might require you have this license or that license. And when I got poking around the state regulatory sites, I found out it's illegal for you to sell vanilla extract without a liquor license. And it's super illegal to send it past state lines, so I can't even ship it. So now I have 4 or 5 gallons of exotic vanilla extract on the shelf, and but I will be able to sell my glycerin extracts this spring. But what a bummer that is, huh? To have that. That's what's calling getting over eager. Jumping in.
Yes. Well, if you ever need to gift any of it, I know where I could go.
Just don't tell it. Just don't. If I send you some, just don't say, "Oh yeah, this."
Well, I feel like you ship it. You can't charge for it. That's different. You can gift things. I don't think that's not a problem. I don't think.
We'll play dumb. We'll just
If you don't sell it, if it's a gift, because I know people that have done. I don't know, it might be different with alcohol, but I know people like they can't sell food, but you can buy this sticker and oops, this has to fall in the package with it as a thank you gift. Like I've seen that done before to cross state lines legal because they didn't buy it. It was just here's your free gift with purchase. That's not advertised. But anyway, we're not going to get you in trouble. I promise.
No, I'm a rule follower because I'm one of those people that I get blamed for things that I don't do. Okay, and anytime
I'll be the one that gets caught. So
I'm the one that gets caught, and I'm so I don't fudge it anymore. I mean, if I do something that's a little shady, I'll get caught. So
absolutely,
yeah.
I'm with you on that. It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
So what's your favorite hot pepper? I mean, you mentioned some hot peppers, how far you would go. What's your favorite hot pepper to cook with, and what's your favorite hot pepper to just eat?
Well, the Scotch bonnet is always a staple around here, and I do grow them for restaurants, and I grow 5 varieties of Scotch bonnet.
Okay.
And if you've been watching my videos, you saw the monster Scotty that I picked this fall right before the freeze. I think the video is called Right Before the Freeze. Well, that thing was this big. It was the result of planting the different varieties of Scotch peppers, Scotch bonnets next to each other, and they cross-pollinated. So who knows who made babies? But the babies were this big, and it was actually a milder Scotty, but it had that tropical ambiance that the Scotch bonnets have.
And they're so beautiful to look at.
Oh, and it's so much fun. I think I grow them more to look at them than eat them. But I do a lot of Jamaican cooking, and I think I teased you a year ago, Joe, telling you I was coming up with rubs with dried peppers, and I was inviting you to test them out for me. That's still coming if you're available to do it. But I came up with 3 meat rubs.
Okay.
Based on the Scotch bonnet. And I liked them so much I ate them all. Actually, I've got the recipes, the combinations I did here in front of me. And I did one that, I'll read this to you. And this wasn't planned. I didn't put it here on purpose. I just need to type it out so I don't lose it, right? It's for fish.
Okay.
And it's got allspice, powdered molasses, thyme, garlic, onion, cinnamon, salt, pepper, paprika, and Scotch bonnet.
That sounds good. That sounds like that's a Jersey twister right there.
Basically based on a Jamaican recipe for a red snapper. But I took all the ingredients and we grew them, except for the allspice, of course, and we didn't powder our own molasses. And I'm playing with ratios, So most of this came out of the garden. So I may send you some of that.
Okay, I'll definitely try it.
Yeah, so I've got fish rub A, fish rub B. and the meat rub, which has mustard in it as well and brown sugar. So I'm always playing with something like that. So to answer your question, and I always get distracted by shiny things when you're talking to me. I'm sorry. But the Scotch bonnet is my favorite, but I've got a new favorite. Every year I concentrate on another part of the world. And I do research on what do they offer in their cuisine that maybe we don't have here. And I got a license to import seed, so I'll actually go to the source, the country, and import the seed. Last year was the Middle East. And I was introduced to the Cardula pepper, Kardoula. I don't know if you want to try to get a picture of that. It's kind of the size of a jalapeno, but kind of heart-shaped. And we lost Juju. Here she comes. Anyway, it's bright red. It's probably on the heat level of a high-end jalapeno, but it's got such a robust flavor, and it's great stuffed. You make like a jalapeno popper, or saute it with onions and a little bit of garlic and put it on your meat if you're eating meat or pasta. It's so now he asked me what my favorite is, and I don't know whether I want to say the Cardula or the Scotch bonnet. I like them equally as well, I guess, but they're different, very different peppers.
Is that it right there? And like, cause they spelt it differently.
Okay, I can't see StreamYard. I've got to wait for it to pop up on YouTube, and it's not there yet.
Okay.
But this anyway.
It
This
looks
year
like it.
I'm doing India.
That'll be
fun.
I'm finding that if you go from the Himalayas all the way down to the Indian Ocean and then across the continent, very different cuisines.
All kind of different kicks wherever you go. It's but the spices, because you're growing them for the spice, you're growing them for, that's exactly what you're doing it for. Like you're growing from India, you're known for their spices. So,
and there's a lot of crossover between India and Thailand, which is my next thing will probably be Asia, further into East Asia. So I kind of started in the Middle East and I'm working my way around the world that way. But okay, here comes something. Yeah.
Shani asking if you can get seeds from you, or is that not possible?
Who is what?
Shani 2003 is asking if she can get seeds from you.
I see you, Shani. Shoot me an email. I have limited seed that I went ahead and grew myself. I can't guarantee it hasn't cross-pollinated because I didn't isolate seed this year. But I have a few maybe I'll share as long as you will come back on my channel and tell me how it did. How's that for a deal?
I like that.
And Jane, can you post her link again for Lisa at our Georgia Suburban Homestead?
Well, she's posting my email, so thank you very much. Albal@south.net. And that is my maiden name, Bolivar. It's Latin American. It's actually Basque.
So how did you get the license to be able to have other seed companies or seed shipped to you from other places?
Through the Department of Agriculture and Customs.
Okay.
You fill out forms.
Okay, that's all.
Forms. Forms.
And I started out with South America and was introduced to the ají charapita, which is the most expensive pepper in the world. Joe, if you Google ají, A-J-I, charapita, just like it sounds, price per pound. And someone's going to have to come pick him up off the floor when he sees this. But it's the ají charapita is essential for Peruvian cooking. So if you go to Peru and they put salsa on the table, tie yourself to your chair. When you taste it, it'll blow your head off.
Plant Farm.
$16,000 per pound.
Most expensive pepper in the world. I grow them.
So I'm just looking at some stuff here.
Okay, I'm seeing Joe speak, but I'm not getting any sound.
I hear you.
Okay.
So let me put this on. Okay, here we go. So this is what the pepper looks like, guys. Look how small they are.
They're teeny tiny and prolific. You really,
Very
one bush will do you. And I do have some seed. They're a couple of years old, and pepper seed is good. What, Joe? Pepper seed's 4 or 5 years?
Yes. Yep. That's about right. They could last to 8 years, really. They could last 10 years if you put them in the right spot. But if you want above 80% germination rate, 4, 5, 6 years,
So
or above 80.
I do have some seed. I might be willing to put something together if people want to purchase some. You would need to soak it in rainwater, not tap water, overnight before you try to germinate. That increases your germination anyway. But did you all know that rainwater is what you want to use?
Rainwater.
No, I did not.
Yeah. There's something in rainwater that Mr. Thinky, my husband over here, could probably tell us. What's the chemical in the rainwater, or the lack of chemical?
Geosmin.
It breaks down the hardness on most of your seed coating.
Rainwater doesn't have any salt or anything else.
Doesn't have any salt or any additives
so
in it.
Osmotic pressure is much higher.
And the osmotic pressure is much higher, he's saying.
Now, how about snow and let it melt? Would that have any different effect?
Same thing. Natural water.
Right. Yeah. In New Jersey, it might glow in the dark.
Well, that could be a problem.
He said that could be a problem.
It's electrified.
Let's see. They look like chickpeas. So this is chickpea will kick your butt, Ginger. Yes, rainwater, green sucker. Always the best to water your garden with it and start your seed. Weak tea, the tannins in the tea. Mike's Chaotic Gardening is suggesting the tannins in the tea, the India tea bags, work in the same way, but rainwater's free.
It does work. I usually, when I water my when I start my seeds, that's what I use. I use actually rainwater, which is pretty cool.
Do you do any water catchment?
No, I just put them out, put my buckets outside and pour it in.
All right.
There you go.
We've got rain barrels on corners of the house, and we bought a carboy or an IBC? Big.
The IBC totes.
Yeah. It's holds 750 gallons, and it's off the roof of our deck.
That's something I really want to get and do. I actually want to do it for each row that I have for vegetables. And put a tote out there, and then all of a sudden just use it as a.
Don't buy them new. If you try to order them from like Amazon or whatever, you'll pay $700 or $800 for them. We went to a farmer's market here, big in-house farmer's market, and they get shipments of agave and those types of things in these carboys, and they'll sell them for $30.
That's what I want. That's my kind of deal.
That's my kind of deal. You have to have a pickup truck to go get it. But you look for a facility like that, or a grocery store, or even a restaurant that buys things in bulk that big. And if you see one of those out back and they're using it, go in and put a deposit. Say, I want that when you're done with it, if you'll sell it to me, and negotiate.
It's all about
Find out what's in it before you buy it too, if you can. You don't want like motor oil or something like that. So just make sure that it was something.
I don't know too many restaurants or farmers markets. They're gonna be. Anyway.
Well, you never know who's there and where they're getting them from. It's the same thing like when you're using the wooden pallets. Some are great, some are not so great, depending on what you wouldn't want that in your garden, depending on what they were used for. So sometimes do what you can to find out what was in it, where they came from, if you can. You can get them from a farm and it could be filled with fertilizer. I don't know that I want drinking water in a fertilizer IBC tote. So just
just
an extra question.
So Serena had a little joke here. She goes, "You can't grow potatoes and onions together because the onions will get potatoes' eyes and make them cry."
Oh.
Just had to
I
poke
don't know
that.
how well those things would do when they freeze. What do you think, Charlie? The people further north, are those big IBC totes, are they going to freeze and crack?
They could.
He says they could. So that's something to think about.
You know what, Gil at Kim Patton Family Compound, he lives in Idaho. He has them. I got to ask him that question.
But he cut them in half and made beds out of them, though. He cut them in half and put plants in them, so he doesn't have water in his.
But I think he has used water. I got to ask him that question.
Okay.
I think that's a good question to ask. And of course, we're going down to 17 degrees and 12 degrees, and another night it's supposed to be, right in that neighborhood next week. And we did that last winter. We went down to 7 below, and they didn't crack. So far so good. Knock on wood.
Yeah, Kimmy, Small Garden Dream. She goes, "It's been raining here for the last week. I have many collections. Buckets were full right now." And I think that goes for a lot of the United States. We have so much rain here. Oh my God. It's been bad. A lot of flooding, torrential flooding. If we had another big rainstorm right now, I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, we had flooding in the garage and the sunroom this year for the first time. We got, what is it, 5 1/4 inches in 10 hours?
Nearly 5 1/2.
Wow, that's a lot.
Any kind of questions, make sure they're all in caps. We got about 19 more minutes, and then we're going to go off to our giveaway stuff. So, 1 second. What is this?
Did you know that?
Garden State Gardener. Did you know that pepper is half peas? Serena's full of the jokes today. And Juliana even had a little question. Why did the tomato blow up? Because he saw a salad dressing. I got that one somewhere before too. Now, is there anything in a garden that you're totally doing something different this year that you can't wait to start growing, like something brand new?
Actually, I don't think we're going to be that adventurous this year. Usually we do 2 or 3 things that are new. Mm-hmm. I've been growing the tromboncini squash, the stuff that's got the, and we just don't like the flavor. It keeps like a year. We kept it a full calendar year to see if you could store it that long, and we did. But the flavor to me is just not there. So last year,
I loved that better than a zucchini when I grew it. I loved it more than a zucchini. No, I grew. Mine was 53 inches long. Joe has seen pictures and shared them. I loved it. And then when I saved it, it turned tan and it was like a butternut squash. My kids ate it and thought it was sweet potatoes. They didn't know any better. Like, I had zero complaints. It was interesting.
It was just bland for me. Our chickens enjoyed it. We picked 98 pounds of squash from one picking this last August, and I did film that. It was, we couldn't believe it. 98 pounds.
I believe it.
But I did learn a trick from Indiana Backyard Gardener. She suggested, because we have such, you remember her? She hasn't
That's Adrian.
Yeah, Adrian. I haven't seen her around in forever. I'll have to send her an email to see if she's okay. But we have incredible vine borer and cucumber beetle problems. Mm-hmm. And I tried everything, because, neeming, and I don't like doing too much of that because it kills beneficial bugs as well as the pests. And we tried squishing them, tried yellow traps. And she says, well, try planting a Hubbard squash near your other curcubids. So we did that because the Hubbard is a trap plant for the cucumber beetle. And I'll be darned if we didn't finally get Georgia candy roasters, and they are delicious. If you haven't tried them, have you guys tried the Georgia candy roasters?
I haven't.
Oh, the flavor is so mellow and almost melony. I mean, I chop up dried apricots with pecans and brown sugar or honey and slow roast it, stuffed with that. It's like you're eating pumpkin pie. The Georgia candy roasters. But because of the Hubbard squash, and we got one Hubbard out of it, which is fine because, all the bugs allowed us to have the candy roasters. We're going to try that again this year and try the delicata, because the candy roasters and the delicata succumbed every year for the last 4 years to the bugs. So we're going to try that.
That's good to know, because I have delicata on my plan this year for the first time ever. So maybe I need to get me some Hubbard seeds.
Yeah,
I don't have them.
Blue Hubbard.
I got lots of blue, but I don't think I have a blue Hubbard. I'll have to look.
Just a note in the chat, Tammy Peach, I did not get your email from the other day. I don't know what happened to it, but I did not get it. So please email me, and that's for Tammy Peach. And I said her name right. She corrected me last time. It's an easy one, Peach.
Suzanne, where did you get bush delicata? I've only seen the vining delicata.
I got the vining delicata from M.I. Gardner. That just came.
I just buy a delicata from the grocery store and take the seed out.
Well, I'm growing it for a friend who lives like 45 minutes away, so I want to make sure that I don't mess this up. So otherwise, I'm with you. Give me all the garden experiments.
Right.
What works pretty well is for the vine borer is if you use peppermint, but you got to put them in a pot because you can't have it in the ground.
Well, I've got it in the ground and crawls up my front hill. Yep. And I put peppers over it in grow bags, and it keeps the peppers pest free. Yeah.
Yep. Peppermint works outstanding. Just don't put it in the ground. Please do not put that in the ground. That's
I've got a huge patch of black peppermint and a patch of traditional spearmint. The spearmint's growing around my fruit trees. It keeps the bugs off the fruit trees.
It's amazing what companion planting could do. That's when we do our grow guides each week. We do companion planting because if you do it right and set it up right, it could be so beneficial for your garden. Any other questions in the chat, guys? Now, what canning, when you can, what's your favorite thing to can? What's always in your fridge? Or not in the fridge, but on your, somewhere in your house?
I usually freeze, but when I do my fermenting, I put that in cans or mason jars. I'm kind of afraid of canning, and I don't like the texture of vegetables that have been canned. So I'm not really. Can I can? Yeah.
Can.
Yeah.
That's a can sale,
right?
Everything's frozen. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 freezers, and full of food. And of course, we volunteer with refugees, and we tend to share our food with the refugee families. And we still have full freezers, so we're truly blessed here. And we do everything in a residential neighborhood. So yes, you can. You can feed yourself and other people.
Take care, Holistic Heritage Homestead. It's good to see you. Hope to see you next week. It's nice when you see new people come in and chat and you never seen before, and it's like it's a good feeling, like you're doing something right. It's always good feeling.
So, what are you guys doing new this year?
What am I doing? I try to do less.
Well, delicata is new for me completely. I've grown squash, but never delicata. I've grown, I think half of my tomatoes are new to me this year. Half of my peppers are going to be new to me this year. So I've grown peppers, but not like I think the Isla Mulata, I think it's called. It's from M.I. Gardner. use hashtag grow big for 10%. Shameless plug, right? It's like a poblano, but it's brown. And Luke had done a short on it saying that they're out of poblano, but this is very similar and it's actually bigger. And I enjoy chili rellenos, and I was like, okay, well, threaten me with a good time. Let's go. Throw that on there. When you get that 10% and then you get the discount, free shipping, it's like getting free seeds, right? And Joe's not saying it because I'm not sure if it's true or not, but every time I've ordered $20 for the seeds, I get a free seed pack in my package. I don't know if that's a thing or if that's just I managed to luck out, but both seed times I've ordered, I've gotten free seeds. They're salad or greens of some kind each time. But I have Mrs. Tomato Head's Banana Noir. It's her personal seed that she created, and I'm super excited to grow that and see what it tastes like and looks like and how it does. And, you know, sometimes I think the experience you're having with the Trombosino and the experience I might have had with it, it could also be different because of where we live in our soil. When I was in upstate New York. You're in Georgia. It's a very different situation. So maybe I grow that here in Virginia this year, and it does miserable for me. I don't know. Like, one of my favorite overall tomatoes is a green. I love it. It's been prolific. I've never had a problem with it. It's a good acid sweet balance. Like, it goes.
Is that what you said?
The green zebra. Yeah, the green zebra. And I grew it here last year, and I got maybe 6 off my plant. And every other year, I have so many by the end of the year. I'm like, oh, God, would you just stop? So I'm going to do it again this year just to see if maybe it was that one raised bed and that soil didn't agree with it, or if it's truly the climate here. Because my seeds haven't changed. I haven't changed. What I put in the beds, in theory, hasn't changed. But my location has.
And your weather year to year too. You know, depends on. We didn't get much sunlight last summer. It was overcast.
Yeah.
So we had a very poor tomato production. Whereas 2 years ago, I was looking for low acid tomatoes because I've got, you know, the acid reflux. The wonderful things we did is we ate, Joe. So I decided to grow a bunch of salad tomatoes that were different colors.
Okay.
And I discovered a little white currant tomato that's teeny tiny, and it tastes like candy. I kid you not. And I grew two-tone red and purple ones, green ones, terracotta orange ones. And then I discovered brown butter tomato sauce.
Ooh.
And we didn't put the first tomato up because everything we picked went into the sauce and it got consumed then and there. And Charlie's over here laughing because as the winter went on, I'm like, why didn't we put any tomatoes away? But the brown butter tomato sauce, I'll talk about cooking it if you want me to right now. But
Sure.
It is to die for. You start out with your onions and your garlic, sauteing that in a deep dish frying pan. Okay, you just saute it. We use olive oil, or you can use butter. You saute it in just a little bit till they're translucent, and then you put in. I took the salad tomatoes and cut them all in half so to break the skin barrier, and threw them in. And as they began to cook down, I used a potato masher. Right? Salt and pepper to taste, and you're supposed to put in a stick of butter, a whole stick of butter. And you cook that and you mash it until it turns into the consistency you're looking for. Then you've got your pot of water over here boiling with your pasta in it, and you cook your pasta to al dente. So it's not all the way cooked, it's still firm. Then you lift the pasta out of the water. You don't throw the water away. You lift your pasta out of the water, put it in the deep dish pan with your tomato sauce that you've made at this point, with a cup of liquid from the pasta water.
Right.
Yep.
What that does is it emulsifies the sauce and makes it stick to those noodles.
Yep.
It's not just sitting on the noodle, it becomes part of the noodles, and it changes the texture, the feel in your mouth, the flavor, and you just cook that until it gets thick again. And then you serve it. And then you let your pasta water cool, and you use that in your garden because the potassium and the things that are in the pasta will feed your garden. So don't put it down the sink.
So a slightly different. I have taken my butter and brown butter because I can't have pasta, so that wouldn't work for me. But it sounds delicious if I frothy, nutty, whatever you want to insert words here. And I would cut my tomatoes up into like chunks, like a tomato salad. And I would take the brown butter and pour the hot brown butter over the tomatoes in a bowl and just eat that. And that's delicious too.
Oh,
like if you need an excuse to not have the pasta and you just want to have the stuff right out of the garden real quick, just make you some brown butter and pour it over the tomatoes. That's delicious too.
I want to show you a picture with pasta. It's pretty funny. It was in New Jersey. And Siri, to answer your question, oh, it's a joke. Yeah, you can plant your tomatoes next to your hot peppers, but she looked at it as it was a joke. I want to show you something. I think you get a kick out of this. So somebody in New Jersey dumped tons of pasta on the side of the road. This is by the New York Times, so it's a true story. 15 wheelbarrow loads of pasta were dumped in mounds around a creek in New Jersey.
Yeah, and does it give you the backstory on it? Because I know the backstory on that.
Oh no, then tell a story. I'd love to know it.
Somebody's parent died, and they had it was either a restaurant or feeding the poor, and they had a huge stock of pasta that they had stored, like almost like we call it hoarding pasta. So when they died, they didn't know what to do with it, so they just dumped it in the woods.
Wow. Yeah. Well, just sad in a way, but
it is tragic because I don't know. Can you imagine?
It was cooked. That's what confuses me.
Someone asked a question here. Imagine the tomatoes sweating because the peppers are so hot. Yeah.
So
Someone asked what happens if the power goes out with all our the power does go out here quite frequently, and we have I'm diabetic, so we've got insulin in the refrigerator too. So the one remedy is to be prepared with your what do you call it? Help me out, Joe. The thing that you
generator. The generator.
Yeah, so we have a really powerful generator that we had when we lived in Florida with all the hurricanes. So there's a way around that, and then you can even get solar powered generators today. And just make sure it's you always have your gasoline or your solar power battery charged up, and you should be okay.
Now talk about something new I'm planting in the garden. But first, I love these jalapenos. The lemon spice jalapeno.
I got seed and I never started that. How was it?
I love it. They're all different. The pumpkin spice jalapeno and orange jalapeno. I love all three of those. They're different spice. Some are stronger than others in these three colors. But you put these three with making a salsa plus the green. You also want to add the brown. I never grown a brown before.
I grew the chocolate habanero one year.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't real impressed with the flavor. Just, there's.
No.
But I like the habanana. Have you tried the habanana?
Yes. Yep. That's good. Well, you don't have the kick. I mean, you don't have the, the spiciness to it, but you got the taste.
Right. This year I tried for the first time Trinidad perfume peppers and Trinidad pimento peppers. And that was someone who comes and buys their plants from me every year, asked me, could I find that? And I did, and there's no heat to them, but they have that, it's a seasoning pepper. And they have that tropical ambiance. I don't know how to describe it, Joe, are you a Scotch bonnet eater to get that kind of perfume?
Yeah, I love the taste.
Without the heat, and they change flavor when you cook them. So it's, so this year, I don't know.
I just look at it as tropical. It's tropical.
Yeah,
it's fruity in a way.
The Caribbean. What you call that? Yeah. Have you tried the ají dulce?
Yes, that's a little more spicy. I like the ají plants. I love them all. Ají in 7 pots. I could eat every single one of them.
The ají, The ahi pineapple actually tastes like pineapple to me. Pineapple with a kick. Have you tried that?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I have that on my list that I'm growing.
What is that? Ahi
Oh, this is just ahi fantasy.
fantasy. That looks like it's a Scotch bonnet
I'm gonna
derivative.
taste it.
That's the reason why I brought it up. And you know what? I never had this one. This was one I want to grow.
Oh, Serena just reminded me. One thing I did that was new this year that I'm doing again is black radishes.
What?
I think I have black radish seeds. I think I have those too.
They are.
I have those too. I have basically every seed, but I never tasted the black.
I pulled all the radishes out. We're gonna plant all the radishes in the spring. The kids and I.
Oh, is that good? Slice them into chips with a little bit of garlic and salt and roast those. Oh my gosh.
I'm determined to get it's a fruit radish. I can't remember if it's Chinese or Japanese. It's an Asian country fruit radish. It's green and it's supposed to be like 4 inches. And if you grow it while it's frosting out, it's supposed to be a sweet, fruity delicacy. And if you grow it in the summer when it's hot, it's spicy and wasabi-like.
It's kind of, I was going to say like a wasabi. Yeah.
It has heat to it, but they say it's fruity like an actual sweet fruit. If you get it growing in the cold during the frost and everything, the kale would be. I was like, huh, it'll be interesting. It didn't grow for me last year, but I didn't try very hard. So, you know.
Have you done daikon?
Got to pay a little more attention.
Daikon radishes are huge.
Yeah, but if you pickle them the way the Koreans do, you'll be in love with them.
Really?
Oh. And it's easy to do, too. We grew one year when we lived in Florida.
Daikons?
Yeah, the daikon. That was 4 feet long. We were digging it up. Charlie's pulling it. He goes, how long is this thing? It was like 4 feet long.
They are great for the
That's
soil.
my go-to for a potato substitute because I can't eat potatoes. So any recipe, like Zuppa Toscana, I add it up and put it into cubes. I take it to so many potlucks and this is the best ever. How did you make it so your potatoes didn't mush, completely fall apart? I'm like, because they're not potatoes, they're radishes. No one can believe it because they don't taste like a radish.
Do you do anything with dandelions?
Me? Oh, yeah. The blossoms sometimes become fritters. The greens I chop into salads as a bitter because it stimulates your bile production and helps you flush toxins out of your body. You rinse your roots and dry them and then chop them up and dry roast them in an iron skillet. Use those later as a coffee substitute. It's wonderful. So, yeah, do I do dandelion? We even planted, and you have to cold stratify the dandelion seed. But we had Eastern European dandelions that were white on the outside and with a yellow center, and then the Japanese ones, I think they're white or pink. No, the Eastern dandelion
pink ones,
pink, and the Japanese had the yellow center with a white rim around it. Those are fun, but they're all dandelion, and they all have the same bitter quality to them. I'm just entertained by different colors on the flower.
Lathalia's Little Hook, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So it's 9:03. Today it went by so fast, way too fast. So what else?
Having fun.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have fun. Time goes by. I wish this went like my wife's party yesterday. No, I'm just joking. It was like forever. No, I was just trying to be funny.
Yeah, I grew that 1 year.
What was that? I didn't miss it. Oh, the one I showed you. I got you.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little bit behind you. You just held up the dandelion to my screen, so because I don't know what I did to my StreamYard picture. It's just a blank screen. So I'm watching you through YouTube.
So is there anything about your YouTube channel? Do you plan on going on a certain date, certain time, tell everybody a little bit about why should they come to your channel?
Twice a month, the first and third Thursday. and I try to come up with an idea for a theme, but I'm clueless since I started these markets. They keep me so busy. So we just do chit chat, and I do giveaways. I did start a new channel that will only post once a month, the last Thursday of each month, and it's called I Died, NDE, Near Death Experience, because I died twice and had some interesting experiences. And we'll talk about those experiences and the paranormal. And if you've had experiences like that, then that's the place to come. No judging. In fact, I'm looking for people who are willing to moderate for me. So if we have someone who shows up and who's rude, that we can nix that, right? But it's a highly personal channel, with, of course, talking about personal spiritual things. So we have the gardening channel that Charlie and I do together for the homesteading. And if you read my about page, you'll see that we consider growing our own food an act of civil disobedience. With all these cities and municipalities trying to pass ordinances telling us we can't grow our food. So join the
revolution. So sad how they're trying to cut back on people growing their own food and different things. And I seen it somewhere on Twitter. There was somebody cutting back on a community garden. It's like, it's a community garden.
Right.
I mean, what are you doing?
Right. It's a war, ongoing war. And the big seed companies are trying to make it so you can't get seed anywhere but from them. And, they say he who controls the food controls the people. So it is an act of civil disobedience by growing your own food. And I wouldn't be surprised if eventually we start seeing the YouTube put the noose on us. So while we can, let's share. I think Joe does a great service, Joe, to all of us, having these channels that you do where we can share information. And yeah. So let's share. Let's do some seed swapping. Let's share recipes.
It's all about everybody.
Help each other out.
That's what I'm about. And everybody can help each other out. That's what we should be doing. Not holding each other back.
Exactly.
Anybody that tells you, it's still in my mind that this one group of people, do not follow anybody else. Just follow us and support us ourselves. I heard that and I'm like, I'm out. I'm done.
Into that. And some of the channels, they won't, they silence me the minute I walk in because I talk too much,
It's a shame.
I get excited. And when you see me, boom, 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 I type 130 words a minute. So as you're talking, I'm reacting, and I'm trying to slow down and back off of that because I know I get overstimulated.
Like Disabled and Preppin said, I love helping my community gardens.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think we all should be helping and supporting each other. And everyone brings something different to the table. They have different skills for the same plant. So let's share.
Yep. It's all about helping each other out.
Yeah.
And if you don't agree with somebody, who cares? You don't have to do what somebody else has to say. But
That's called being an adult.
I heard you.
That's called being an adult. For the kids in the back of the bus, you don't have to agree. You just need to be mature about it. I don't agree with you. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, I always say, if you learn something, great, put it in your pocket. If you don't agree with something, that's okay. It doesn't matter. It's there.
I want to say that just looking at you, Joe, it makes me smile. You're always so positive and upbeat. And I know I'm intense and, a very serious type personality. So two totally different styles, but I come to you, Joe, to make me feel better. I come to your lives for that.
Well, thank you so much, Lisa. I'm glad I can make you smile. I know Juliana, I make her like, what the heck's this guy saying?
No.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. And we'll have you get on sometime soon. So thank you so much.
What time of the month is it? It's
14th.
My next live is the 18th, which is, oh no, it's this week. I have to come up with an idea. So what do I talk about? Give me a suggestion. What should I be
Blue
talking about?
Hubbard squash.
Blue
Hubbard squash is a top crop.
Okay, I'm from New England, so we call them Hubbards. Blue Hubbard.
Okay.
I'll have to do some research.
Squash is always something interesting because it's easy to grow. They're abundant, but there's so many squashes out there. Like people won't, besides green zucchini or black beauty zucchini, that's what everybody grows. That's it. But there's so much of a wider variety out there and different tastes for each one.
Unless you have vine borers like I have.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
we all have vine borers.
Oh, okay. I think Georgia should take the award for vine borers. We never had these problems when we lived in Alabama or Florida. This is amazing. It's amazing.
And they're out there. That's for sure.
Use all those words Mama told you not to use.
And they die so fast after they attack it. It's like, oh man, I got to do surgery on this plant right away. Jeez.
Yeah.
And I like doing that. I just like
and your
get the razor blade.
Yeah. Joe, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lisa. We'll see you
Good
soon.
to meet you, Juliana.
Yes, ma'am. Same here.
Take care, Lisa.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was a great interview. That was awesome. Hopefully you guys learned something from that. And I know I did. Very easy to listen to for me. That was a great interview. That's exactly, Jane. That was awesome.
Serena, I do not.
And Serena, I couldn't put all your jokes up there.
Serena is asking how to start a purple bean hyacinth seed. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'd imagine like every other bean.
Exactly. And Serena, I can't put all your jokes up there because we're doing an interview, but I don't mind one here or there. That's not a problem. But we got to concentrate on what we're talking about. Otherwise, it'll be a late night show. And you don't want to see my jokes.
Have you met Joe? If he put up every joke, we'd be here for 10 hours just talking about joke and all the tangents and rabbit holes he'd be going down. So.
Exactly. Okay, well, it's time to do our giveaways. So let me share the screen. I'm sorry if we don't have the spinner today because, well, it got lost in space. I couldn't tell you what happened to it. So let me find our giveaway tool.
I'm Googling on the purple hyacinth bean.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to give away is the tea infuser. Tea infuser. So we're going to do hashtag Juliana. Oh, what happened to
Two N's.
I think I should have now. Did I spell it right this time?
Yes, you get it. You did Juliana correctly this time.
Juliana. First one is
Anna.
Juliana. Juliana.
There you go.
Juliana. So this is for the tea infuser. Hope you guys had a good time and Grow Big TV. We have 6 contests coming up. Actually, a lot more than that. But this is for the seeds. So for the seeds contest, and winners will get $100. We have the watermelon radish, the Detroit's red beet, the zucchini contest, the mammoth sunflower, Dr. Reggie's tomato, and Peter pepper. We have also the hot dog eating contest, and it doesn't have to be you, but you have to be on screen. So you can have your husband on it, you can have your son, you can have anybody you want. So
Mine would have to be in the same state in order for me to do that, sir. I never know where he is.
That's true. But it's one thing it is 8 hot dogs, 8 Sabrett hot dogs, and you got to have it on a roll. If you want to put ketchup or mustard on it, that's perfect because that's the only way I would eat it. And
Joe, time out. Lisa Ward. There's 2 N's. You got to do it again. You only put 1. Lisa Ward. Hashtag Juliana 2 N's.
She listens to me too much. It's a great contest. Right now, we only have 1 contestant, and that's the Wickershire Project. So go to the registration video. Come on, let's get some people to do this. Let's get somebody in your family to do
If
this.
I make them foot long with no bun, can I do it? If I do foot longs with no bun, is that a legal move?
Nope. You got to have the bread. You got to have the bread. The same rule for everybody.
All right, well, I'll cheer. I'm not going to the hospital. I will cheer from the sidelines and watch.
It should be interesting. And I got a colonoscopy in 4 days after. Because the other one was canceled. So I'm not going to be able to enter hot dog eating contest. So hopefully you guys can really enter. Okay, here we go. Good luck. Team Fuser. Who's going to be the winner? Saddlebutt. Congratulations to Saddlebutt. Okay. Let's go to one here. Do a couple different ones. Giveaway tool. Hashtag.
Grow big.
Peter Pepper.
Okay. That'll work.
And the winner's going to win.
Peter Pepper seed.
I hope this didn't break. That looks good. A loom set. And if you don't want the loom set and want seeds, just tell me you want seeds. It's pretty simple. So it's a loom set. Make those hats. Give this to somebody you know that wants to do this, and they can make you a hat. So this is really, really cool, this loom set. So we got 33 people that entered so far. That is
the
awesome.
chat is rolling.
It is rolling. Finally rolling. 67 people here. That's awesome.
Rolling on the chat screen.
So we got just let you guys know, for being monetized, we have 780 hours to go to reach 3,000, because they have a 3,000 where you could do your super chats, and then watch your videos. You need 4,000, but we are less than 800 away from at least getting the super chats going. So that's pretty cool. So we are at 48 entries, 67 people in the chat. Peter Pepper. Hashtag Peter Pepper. And so those 6 contests are pretty cool, guys. We are still working on somebody for Tuesday's interview. And we're also going to have a trivia contest and prizes rewarded to that. And who's going to be the smartest? We still got to come up with a name. It's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? But it's going to be like Who Wants to Be a Master Gardener or something like that. Juliana gave me that name. But we still got to try to find out a good name for that. But we're looking forward to that. That's going to come on a Thursday after the hot dog eating contest. So a lot of contests.
Somebody asked a question up in the chat earlier on the zucchini. Any zucchini, or do you have specific species?
It's going to be a specific one, but it's going to be widely known. Probably black beauty. It's going to be black beauty.
I don't remember where I saw it, but it was in the chat way up, and I'm not scrolling.
So the Black Beauty zucchini, the only thing with the zucchini contest, it has to be edible looking. It can't be yellow,
Right.
for example.
Right.
Like a greenish
No
yellow. That's too
inedible
far.
baseball bat.
And that's very important. And the watermelon radish is really cool, guys. That's our first contest. $100 to the winner. The thing is, it cannot split. If it splits, it's out. Okay, here we go. Loom set. Here goes the draw. 52 people that entered. Mary's Fiber Creations.
That seems like a good fit that she would like that. Congratulations, Mary.
Perfect fit. The next one, again, you could choose seeds, guys, so it's the same thing. It's going to be a Pound of Love white. Pound of Love white. So let's rewind here. For the seeds, we're going to do one name and that's it. Hashtag grow big. Oh, just to let you guys know, there is one. Everything's going to be sent. The seeds are going to be sent out right away, but the bigger gifts won't set out until Wednesday. Just a note. We had a money situation, so this past week, so there was one more Ninja Maker that has to be sent out, and that will be sent out Wednesday. I couldn't find the email last week because on Garden State at Coach Cos 70, I delete over 200 emails a day, and I accidentally deleted that and deleted my other delete box. So I finally found another email that is correct for that person, and that'll be sent out Wednesday for the Ninja. And Juliana, have you received your Ninja? I believe you said yes, right?
I did too. Yes.
It's pretty good, isn't it? That Ninja Maker.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
Amazing.
Okay, so here we go. A Pound of Love white. Here goes the draw.
Joe's giving away a pound of love, y'all.
Pound of love. Love. Built on a Rock Homestead.
Look, Mike's here. Next, Chaotic Gardening's here, Mike.
You mean chaotic?
Mike, you had to go. You'll have to go back earlier and see. Congratulations, Built on a Rock.
Juliana, it's chaotic.
Yes, I know.
Not chaotic.
Well, I said Mike will. He'll have to go back and watch all the mispronunciations of all things.
I'm starting to get it down like Lethalia's Little Hook. Lethal.
There you go.
That's it. It's Lethalia's. And Melanie, thank you so much for sending a pound of fudge to me. I didn't read the whole thing, but I seen you're sending me, I think it was fudge. But it has to be quick because I'm starting my diet really, really fast. So hopefully it gets to me. Otherwise, I'm going to watch my son eat it all in front of me. Okay. Let's, congratulations, Built on a Rock Homestead. So our next giveaway, let's see.
Mike says you say it cool. Is that what the word is? Cool? Is that what that means these days?
Hashtag.
Built on a Rock would like seeds instead.
Ooh, Built on a Rock, seeds instead. Okay.
Gotcha.
Built on a Rock Homestead, email me and just put seeds, bunch of seeds. Just put bunch of seeds and with your address. Okay, here we go. Hashtag cool. White yarn. So we're doing a white yarn, the Pound of Love. And if you want seeds, they're going to get seeds. Very simple. And after this live, there is Bacon Leg and Let's Dig It, I think, is live. So check out Melody at Bacon Leg and Let's Dig It. 48. 68. Ooh, this is really... 68 people in the chat. Again, you guys, you could just, if you want seeds, it doesn't matter. It's all good. When we go over seeds, hey, it's all good. But just put a hashtag cool in. You don't have to choose the yarn if you're not a yarny person. It's all good. We're all about sharing here. And if you want to give the panel of someone else, give it to someone else. Okay, about 10 more seconds. 69 people in the chat. Okay, here we go. Pound of love. Kathleen Moran.
Congratulations, Kathleen.
Kathleen Moran. That's it. Congratulations to Kathleen Moran. And from the East Brunswick, New Jersey, she lived right next to I used to live, like 5-10 minutes away, which was pretty awesome. Okay, I'm going to give out these big books on Tuesday, so we're going to give out some seeds. My interview on next Thursday is farmer Jeff Zwicky. And he's been all over the media, and it's how to make money on a farm. And talking about his chickens and everything else, and ways to make money. It's just a lot of good stuff. So that's going to be an awesome live on Thursday, and I'm working on a guest for Tuesday. So this week it's just interviews, give away seeds, boom, and look for the registration video coming out in the next couple of days for next Sunday Funday. And this month is birthday month. So Joey is going to come on my live on January 24th. Just a note, on Tuesday, January 23rd, is my wife's birthday, and I'm going to spend some time with her instead of going live. So I'm doing a husband thing.
Kathleen Moran would like seeds too, please.
Okay. All right.
Sorry. Breaking news. Had to interrupt.
That's all good. Perfect. Okay, so let me just put the white yarn back. We'll come back to the yarn. Guess we're going to do some seeds. Okay, hashtag. This is all going to be seeds for a little bit because I want to give a lot away. Hashtag seeds. And we're going to give balloon flower seeds out. I'm going to choose the color on it, though. So moonflower, you're going to have a balloon flower, or let me see what vegetable I'm going to choose.
So I'm helping you out for next week, Joe. Jeff's last name is Sawicki. I'm looking at his website right now, and it literally says pronounced Sawicki.
Sawicki.
There you go. No Z. Sawicki. There you go. I'm just helping you out for next week.
So we got eggplant, balloon flower, or let me see. I'm going to try to figure out something good here. Bee balm.
Bee balm's one you want to put in a pot too, depending on where you live and how much you want of it.
So you have your choice. I'm going to give you either a variety of eggplant. So here's your vegetable. Bee balm. Or a balloon flower. These are beautiful, the balloon flowers. So you got to let me know in the chat what we're going to be. You know what? You don't have to tell me in the chat. Just email me. Okay. And I appreciate you guys doing the seeds and email me ASAP. Okay. Here we go. 56 entries. First winner. Just email me which one you want. Eggplant, bee balm, balloon flower. Jane Doe!
Yay, Jane. Good job.
So there's our first one. Next straw. Here we go. We're doing this pretty fast, guys, because I'm going to make sure I get these out. You guys been in here very long.
Hey, Jane, do you know how to get a hold of Joe? Do you know how to email him?
Duval City Girl Gardener. That's awesome. So that's our second winner. Here we go. Draw again. Oh, somebody new in the chat, Juliana.
Yay! Welcome. Jet
Welcome
1N.
So Jet 1N. We do this every single Sunday for Sunday Funday. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have either interviews or competitions. And we also give away stuff there too. So hopefully we can see you each week. For Sunday Fundays, there's usually a registration video out that actually works. But this week we didn't do it. We usually don't do this generator as much. So just make sure you leave a comment in the registration video. Okay, here we go. Third time. Just email me.
I love how you hype yourself up. We usually do this, and it usually works.
It usually does. Built on a Rock Homestead.
Whoop, whoop. Yay, built on a rock.
Yeah, that's the first time it didn't work, and I gave up. I ran out of time. A lot of crazy stuff went on at 6:30 to 7.
This works just as well in a pinch. I like it. It's good.
Next week we might have horse races or something. Okay, here we go. We got to work on that.
Juliana's told me. Good job, Saddlebutt. Double winner again. Liliana told me on Thursday nights she doesn't like your show anymore. There's no polka on Thursday nights.
Gotta love the polka.
It's not a Mr. Joe show without the polka dance song.
That's great. I love that. Susan Goulet.
Hey, Susan. Congratulations.
Thank you guys all for coming. Hope you guys are having a good time. This is awesome. Let's draw it again. Draw it again now. Draw it again now.
Do it again, do it again, do it again now. Do it again, do it again, do it again now.
Barb's Country Home.
Congratulations, Barb.
There we go. Do it again. Do it again now. I can't do it as well as you know? Jeez.
No whammies, no whammies.
Yeah, Kimmy loves the polka. Kim G. Congratulations to Kim G. Again, guys, it's eggplant, bee balm, or balloon flower. And most of the time I throw in extra seed packets in there. So it's all good. Here we go. Seeds last 7 years, 8 years, last 20, 30 years if you leave them in a good spot. You just won't get 96% germination rate the more years go on. We're about Gopher. So Tuesday and Thursday will be at 7 o'clock. Here we go. Draw it again. Congratulations to all the winners. So make sure you guys email me what you want. You don't have to tell me what you have here. Just Ted Pottle.
Congrats, Ted Pottle. So you talk about having seeds in a good place. I had seeds that I bought off of Amazon in Kentucky, moved to Texas in El Paso. It was routinely 120 or more in the garage. Thought the movers threw my seeds away, lost that box, whatever, and all of a sudden found them the next year. So I had a full year of desert sun. All my tomatoes still grew. And they were in the worst possible desert heat, not stored properly. They weren't in a box. They were in like a bag in the garage, burning up. And they still had amazing germination. So I'm not recommending that. I'm just saying, don't ever throw your seeds away. Put them in the ground. Worst case scenario, you only get 1 instead of 10.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I plan to grow
It's a guaranteed 0 if you throw them in the trash can.
Exactly. I seen people throw them away. Oh, the back of that says is only good to this date. That's because they want you to buy more, guys. That's all it is. It's a gimmick. Maybe you, instead of, say you had 100 seeds, instead of 95 germinating, maybe 92 germinating.
Getting
Jeez.
swindled. So they put them on there to make sure you're getting new seeds every year. You're not getting last year's seeds in the interim. But your seeds are still good. Don't throw them out.
And you know what? Here's another thing with seeds that nobody really knows. And because a lot of people are doing all this, when they're sending you seeds, they're putting coatings on it, right? There's microbes on a seed. If you wash all those microbes off your seed when you're getting them, like most seed companies now have to because of the government, you're not getting as nutritious a vegetable as you're going to grow without all those microbes on it.
Yeah.
Government. And,
save your own seeds, people. Save your own seeds when you can.
So I think that's really interesting because, oh, yeah, they do this stuff to the seeds. You got to have it because it's not going to be less disease and all this stuff. If you do it right, you got the right seed for yourself, guys. Then you want to grow healthy food. Okay, draw it again.
Do it again, Joe. Do it again.
Sift them some soil and more. You know what cracks me up about this is when it stops, and they all think you think you won. Then all of a sudden, it goes to someone else. You're like, oh, I was so close. There we go. Here's the next one.
It's like the wheel when it's slowing down and then it ticks right over the. Make it slower, and then me in my shadow. See, and you were worried you weren't on the wheel. Congratulations.
Just make sure, guys, next week you do register because we need the polka back at least half of the time. This is good when you have something fast. Kathleen Moran. Congratulations, Kathleen Moran.
I love when I see people who have been active in the chat all night and then they win. That makes me happy.
Yeah, that's right. There's no shuffle. There's no shuffle doing this.
Every day I'm shuffling. Beep bop boop a doop doop.
Okay, we got two more for tonight. Tuesday and Thursday.
Bring back the wheel. Juju's singing.
And just let you guys know, this is going to be on Garden State Gardener starting in February. Lisa Ellison. Congratulations to Lisa Ellison.
Congrats, Lisa. Good job.
And the last seed packet.
I agree. Built on a rock polka makes it better. Here's the last one of the night. Who's it going to be?
Jersey Twister. It's a twister.
Congratulations to all the winners. There was a lot of them tonight.
So let me stop sharing this. So if you're going to enter the hot dog eating contest, go to the registration page. And guys, come on, enter it. It's fun. Who could win? More contestants, the better prize. Right now, there's only one person that entered. So we're trying to find out contests we could do that's a little different for that time period. Yeah, I was thinking about doing chicken wings, but I don't need anybody like choking on my show freaking bones. But so I'm trying to find out contests we can do.
You can just choke a hot dog. You're okay.
Yeah, you swallow. You're good. It just
dogs are one of the choke hazards out there. Just saying.
We're just trying to make it fun for everybody and do different things. and different. We want to do things different on this channel. Okay, guys, I'm going to go back to, well, I'm a Los Angeles Rams fan in football, and so far I have no idea what's going on. The game's probably in the fourth quarter, so I'm going to go watch my favorite team. God bless everyone, and we'll see everybody on Tuesday night. So thank you guys.
Good night, everybody.
With us all night long. Take care.